Alright, fellas. Well, it's officially here. The day that Red Dead Redemption 1 releases for PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch. And one thing I definitely am already can say that I really am stoked about is it is definitely a bit more cleaner on the PlayStation 4 than the original backwards compatible version on the Xbox 360 to the Xbox One and Series consoles. So, we're right now, as you're seeing on the screen, we are definitely on the main menu, and we are literally playing on our PS4 Pro. And I did see, however, from the PlayStation Store, that there is a PS4 Pro enhancement, and that looks to be true. And I was actually hearing that this game would not be playing at like 4K or anything above 1080p. Well, that actually doesn't look like that's the case, because right now we are playing on our new TCL QM8 series TV. And like, just looking at this picture, like, you can tell from the Red Dead Redemption up top, the wording is so much cleaner on the edges. And even when you look at the grass is so clean and detailed that honestly, I will admit that this does look like it's got a 4K enhancement for the PlayStation 4 Pro. But that is just one part of this video that we're going to be doing. So why don't we get this game started, shall we? Let's jump right on in and let's start the first bit of the game. And we will give our full review, like, as we start, like, the first, mission or two. But this is it, guys. It's officially released, and this is on the PlayStation 4 Pro. Just want to give you out there one more time. This is on the PlayStation 4 Pro. So I'm going to mute the headset, and let's actually start the game, and let's see how visually it looks. Okay, yes, I can definitely tell. You can definitely see the people and their skin so much cleaner. Okay. So far liking this.
Extra, extra, health benefits. Read all about. Hey, watch it, mister. Read all about it. Bill Williamson's gang terrorizes New Boston. Extra.
Well, I, for one, am grateful, Mrs. Bush, that they are finally bringing civilization to this savage land.
I could not agree with you more, my dear.
Actually, as a matter of fact, I'm just going to go on ahead and skip this cutscene. But yeah, so far, it is looking actually way sharper than the original PlayStation 3 version. Oh my gosh, yeah. It definitely does look way sharper. Like, you could just see the details, like, on the wood. Even the ground is so much more detail. Man. Maybe this ain't a full disappointment after all. Because you can see the grass, the ground is so much more detail. And it looks like possibly draw distances got improved. And you can even see, especially like the hanging rock, which is right there. You can even see like, minus me failing the mission. But dude, like you could just see so much more detail, especially like in the distance. And I mean, look at the trees, look at the hills. You can literally see all of those, whatever the heck those are called. Basically like those things right there. But yeah, you can literally see all of those. One thing I am going to say is the sky definitely looks a bit more detailed just as well. Yeah. Let's go on ahead and let's do this cutscene real quick. And then we'll ride with the guy. But yeah, I am visually impressive. Straight up.
You must be John Marston.
Sometimes.
I'm Jake. Your friends from Blackwater hired me to guide you.
They ain't my friends, but pleased to meet you, Jake.
I got the horses saddled up and ready out front.
Now we're going to get to see a beautiful sunset.
Well, here, let's mount up and hit the trail. I ain't much of a fella for gossip. Easy on the spurs now. We don't need to draw undue attention.
Man, it is so freaking odd, dude. Playing this game with a PlayStation 4 controller that was never... You can never play this on a PlayStation 4. Well, you could back then, but only through, like, a cloud.
That's right.
Ain't taking nobody up to the fort in a long time. Strange place for a decent fella to want to visit, if you don't mind me saying.
Who said I was a decent fella?
It's been abandoned for years now. Folks say it was built during the Mexican War. What kinds of soldiers around back then?
Why'd they leave?
Well, I ain't entirely sure. I heard they had to go...
Actually, I think there is something else, and it could be that, but I'm not too sure. I actually don't think this game supports HDR, now that I'm thinking. Let's see. Yeah, there is... Ooh, it says AMD. Okay, that's something new. You could switch anti-aliasing from FXAAA or whatever the heck to AMD FSR2, if that even says anything, which I don't believe so. But I mean, okay, with as clean and crisp as it looks on here compared to the original versions, I definitely am going to say, like, I am a little bit more impressed than what I thought that we heard of. But let's go ahead and finish this run through with this guy to Fort Mercer real fast.
Well, he ain't been friends for a long time.
Are you planning on spending any time in Armadillo, Mr. Marston?
I doubt it. I ain't planning on staying very long.
Well, if you're fixing for some female company, you can do a lot worse than Armadillo. Fine as cream gravy they are. Not like Thieves Landing. Dang, those girls ain't even fit for a drinking man to hole up with.
I'm a married man, I'm afraid.
Ain't we all? was the marshal who hired me, Lee Johnson. Do you know him?
I think I heard his name.
Says he got a telegram from some Blackwater big bugs asking for a guide. I guess it's none of my business.
That's right.
You ain't very talkative, are you?
Nope.
I'm just chewing the dog, mister. It's how I am. I don't mean nothing by it.
Trust me. There's things you better off not knowing.
Damn coyotes. What a waste of good meat. Not far now. You'll see the fort when you get to the top of this hill. Whoa! Listen, mister. This here is what's left of Fort Mercer. Some gang rode in and took the place over.
So I understand.
This is where we part.
Alright, so another good thing that I also have noticed, like, if you look at Jake's, like, grayish hair below his chin or whatever, his facial hair, like, it's so much more detailed and clean, it looks to be, better than the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 versions actually looked. And then better yet, when you look in between Marston and him, just by looking at those trees, like, they're just so much more detailed. Now, granted, you ain't going to be able to see the 4K or whatever. You're only going to get, like, 1080p because of PlayStation 4 Pro can only, like, record 1080p footage and such. But even still then, you're still going to see the difference from the old version. But, yeah. I've got to say that it's so much more sharper than the original. Maybe this ain't as bad straight port after all, like we were thinking.
Ways, friend. You have yourself a good time.
Alright, so we're just going to walk around real quick, just around the area so we don't fail the mission one more time. Just to see you guys get a good glimpse of, like, how much cleaner that the freaking visuals look. And I mean, I wasn't even expecting them to look this sharp, especially on a PlayStation 4 Pro, but my gosh, they almost look like... It almost looks like the game runs in native 4K on the freaking PS4 Pro. And a lot of games are not able to run at native 4K on the Pro. So you're definitely going to get that experience on the Pro if you have a 4K TV, and especially file backwards compatible on the PlayStation 5. It still is disappointed because we didn't get an actual native PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X version. But, I mean, I guess this is actually comparable to the Xbox One X and Xbox Series X version that does run in native 4K file backwards compatibility. But, yeah, honestly, like, yeah, I'm actually not as disappointed as what we all thought that this was going to be. I mean, yeah, it's still packing the same visuals and whatnot, but, I mean, this is definitely one of the games, personally, in my opinion, that still holds up incredibly well in terms of visuals, like 13 years later than any other game has ever. I mean, even then, I mean, here's another good example, like, you could just see the mountains, and better yet, you can even see details on the mountains in the distance. Just like, look at that. You can literally see those mountains, and you can see how much detail they are, and those are like 10 miles away. So, yeah, like, I'm honestly really impressed with this straight port that they did. So, yeah. Honestly, I will have to give this game not necessarily a 10 out of 10 for the straight port to the PlayStation 4 consoles, but honestly, I would have to say, I'd say probably around a 7.5 to maybe an 8 out of 10 for the PlayStation 4 review for this game, but we still got the Nintendo Switch review also coming up later on this evening. So stay tuned in for us to checking this out on the Nintendo Switch. But yeah, this is Red Dead Redemption 1 that just got released for the PS4, and this is the PS4 Pro version that we are playing on. And really, I am very more impressed than what I originally thought I was going to be, and it's definitely much more sharper than also what I thought it was going to be. So, yeah, I'll have to give this port a 7.5 out of 10. It still would have been better if it was a remaster or a remake, but as much as it's looking, and still with its old visuals that still hold up incredibly well, but now looking somewhat sharper, and actually playing with a PS4 controller on this game for the very first time, yeah, Red Dead Redemption 1, yeah, the re-release version for PlayStation 4, I give it a 7.5 out of 10 for being still a really good, decent, port that does look like an improvement and much more cleaner than the original version. So, yeah, Red Dead Redemption 1 on the PlayStation 4, it's definitely a 7.5 out of 10. But yeah, you can just tell how much better that it looks, and I was not even expecting it to look this absolutely, clean and everything. So yeah, this pretty much is going to do the review video for Red Dead Redemption. So hope you enjoyed a little bit of the gameplay and also the experience of the visuals. So this is Tech and Gaming Reviews. Please hit that like button if you enjoy this content, and be sure to hit that subscribe button if you are new to this channel, and be sure to stay tuned in for the Nintendo Switch review of Red Dead Redemption 1 later on this evening and such. But also leave us your thoughts down in the comment section down below if you're one of the luckiest first few people that bought this today on release, and if you're very impressed with it, especially on either the Nintendo Switch or the PlayStation 4 or even the PS5 or PS4 Pro. So yeah, just leave us your thoughts down in the comment section down below if you're one of the people that bought this for today on release, and if you are impressed with it or not. But without any further ado, that's going to do the video for today for our review for the PS4 version of Red Dead Redemption 1. Rate, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned in for the review for the Switch later, and we will see you for it later on this evening for the Switch review. Peace out.